Yeah.
What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you should definitely subscribe. I upload every other day and I would love to have you as a part of my channel. I upload videos like college, lifestyle, and today's gonna be about Liberty because that's where I go. I'm gonna be a sophomore in the fall. I'm really excited about it. Freshman year was so fun, and I think I'm gonna do a video on like 10 things I wish I knew before freshman year. Got my coffee. Also, I don't know why we have this mug. It says Columbia International University and I don't know, like no one in my family went there. I'm so confused, like why do I even have this, but whatever. Liberty University. Okay, so I did another video. It was 16 tips for Liberty University freshmen, and I didn't really explain like my Liberty story, so I'll just briefly explain this. I said this in my testimony, but I'll just say it here. So I really wasn't interested in Liberty pretty much at all at first, because the reason I found out about Liberty was because me and my ex-boyfriend were like talking about Liberty, and we knew that it was really conservative. We were just like talking about how it was known for, like what the things that it was like notorious for, and which I came to find out weren't even true. But we were just talking about it and we were like kind of joking about it, like, oh my gosh, like what if you went there? And then I found out that my grandma was an online professor there. Like I knew she was an online professor, but I didn't know where. So I looked up a video on it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool actually. Like this doesn't look like a Christian college in the stereotypical ways and just like the things that people were saying about Liberty. So I ended up going and showing my parents that video. We ended up going on a tour and that was okay. But then I went to theater camp, fell in love with the whole environment there and the people there, and then I went to college for a weekend and then I came, and it was kind of a no-brainer after that. But before that theater camp, like I had like some interest in it, but not really. I was gonna go to UNC Charlotte. Going to Liberty, I didn't really have any expectations. I was just kind of going in and I had an open mind, but I was like, if I hate it, I can transfer. It's not that big of a deal. But I went into it with an open mind and I was really excited about it, and I met the best friends I've ever had in my life. Like the environment there is so like unexplainable and you're so appreciative of it. You go to convocation, everybody's worshiping, and like, but not even just like fake worshiping, like actual worshiping. You see some of like the best godly guys that are just like so godly, and they want to like pursue well, not with me because I'm single as a Pringle. I've just seen some of the most amazing godly guys just like go into relationships in such a different way than I've ever seen, and it's just so mind-blowing. And then the best part is whenever you go home for fall break and then you remember what the real world's like and then come back, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like, this is not real. I love Liberty. I don't know where I would be if I didn't go. If you're considering it, I would definitely say go to college for a weekend or go on a tour, but definitely college for a weekend. That's where you can go for a whole weekend. So if you're just watching this, randomly clicking on a Liberty video, that's my story, and that's what I would suggest if you're even slightly interested in it. We're gonna get into 10 tips that I have for Liberty University freshmen. So this is either if you're coming in the fall or just things to keep in mind whenever you actually do come. So I did a 16 tips for Liberty University freshmen. There's literally no significance to 16, so I don't know why. I randomly just thought of 16 things. So I thought of 10 more things that I could share with you guys. I actually filmed this already. I have no idea where this, like the footage for this went. Like I actually have no clue, but whatever, I guess we'll never know. Okay, so the first tip is just like kind of basic, just things to keep in mind, and just like so you know going into it, because you'd figure this out pretty easily, but just like to keep this in mind. There's a whole bus system that goes around Liberty. 70 is the bus that goes directly from DeMoss Hall, like where Vine Center is, to Green Hall where the gym is, and so that goes back and forth all day. And then 71, that's the bus that goes around all of the campus. It's easier to go from DeMoss to Green whenever you're on 70 because it just goes directly there. So just keep that in mind. You'd figure that out pretty easily, but like once you got there, but just to like have a heads up, that's like the bus system. And like you'll always hear people say 70, 71. There's other ones. There's like 72 goes to East Campus, 90 goes to Cornerstone, which is an off-campus part, 74 goes up to Snowflex. Like there's different ones like that, but 70 and 71 are the ones that you're gonna hear people saying the most. My second tip is to walk out your classes the weekend before you go into classes. So I made a video on freshman welcome week. I'll leave it linked down below, but that's one of the things that I suggested doing during freshman welcome week is walking out your classes. I did this, and you would actually be surprised how many people do this. Like you go into DeMoss is where most gen eds are held, but if you have classes other places, like I would say walk those out too. But DeMoss Hall is just a very confusing academic building, and so I would just say just to be completely sure that you're gonna get everything right the first day. I would hate for you to get lost on the first day of classes, and whenever you go to walk your classes out, you'll see so many people in there and like walking their classes out. So it's not like a weird thing to do. A lot of people do it, especially whenever I was there for freshman welcome weeks. It'll help you a lot whenever it's your first day of classes. My third tip is about the ROT, which is the dining hall. It's the Reber Thomas dining hall. No one calls it the Reber Thomas dining hall, but I said that in my last video. It's called the ROT, just for a heads up. The ROT is definitely busiest right after convocation on Monday, Wednesday, Friday for lunch, and then right before campus community on Wednesday. So we have a church service on Wednesday. It's called campus community, and right before that most halls go for like bro sis dinners, a dinner with your brother or sister dorm. They like go together. That's whenever it's busiest, like dinner wise. It's also pretty busy after church on Sunday because people don't want to spend money like going out to eat, so they go to the ROT. But yeah, those are the busiest ROT times. I used to go at the weirdest times. I try not to go right after convocation. I do sometimes, but I try not to because everything's so busy right after convocation, and I try to hold off lunch until like 1. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, and if you do go to the ROT right after convocation, you just gotta find a table real fast and just put your stuff down on it. That's another thing about Liberty. No one steals anybody's stuff, knock on wood. But like, I've put my stuff down to save a seat so many times and nobody takes it, so I'm gonna be screwed whenever I go out in the real world. Okay, so my fourth tip is also about the ROT, and the ROT has free coffee. If you guys don't know about the dining plan, you get 10 swipes a week. Freedom Plus is that you have 10 swipes a week at any of the on-campus dining. A swipe, like for example at Chick-fil-A, is like a Chick-fil-A sandwich, fries, and a drink. And then like at Sub Connections, you get like a sub, chips, and a drink. It just like comes, it's like a meal that you get. Or if you want to get a snack at Starbucks, you can get like a muffin and coffee, whatever. And then you get unlimited swipes into the ROT, $120 dining dollars, which you can use at any of the on-campus dining, and then $80 of Flames Cash that you can spend on laundry, on campus, off campus at some of the dinings like Buffalo Wild Wings, Golden Corral, stuff like that. So the ROT has free coffee all the time. If you're like running late and you don't want to stand in line for Starbucks, which is usually busy, Dunkin' is most of the time busy, but the ROT coffee is like, most of the time there's like almost no one there, and that's the kind of coffee I like. It's just like hot coffee with really good creamer. So a lot of people don't realize this until a little bit down the road, so I just thought I'd throw that in there because sometimes whenever I ran out of K-Cups, I would just go to the ROT before class and just get coffee and go to class. I actually did that a good bit, so that's my tip for that. It's not really a tip, it's just like a fact, but I just thought I'd throw that in there just in case you didn't know. Use your Flames Cash wisely. Flames Cash will go so quickly, I promise you. I think the first semester, all my Flames Cash was gone. By October, all my Flames Cash was gone, and dining dollars. So I would say use it really wisely, especially Flames Cash. Dining dollars are the ones that you can use on campus, and I would say only use dining dollars on campus and bring quarters for your laundry, because with Flames Cash you can use it at any of the off-campus restaurants, and I think that it'd be smart to just like limit it to that, because then you won't spend as much of the money that you're bringing from home on like eating and stuff like that. So my number 6 tip, I don't think I've talked about this before, but there's an all-girls event once a month and it's called The Well. So it's basically just like a service, but like it's life-changing. It's so weird how like the environment changes so much whenever it's like guys and girls, and then whenever it's all girls, because it's like you can be so vulnerable, and like there's people like on the floor crying, and it's like it's life-changing. People talk about it literally the second you get there, but I just wanted to also throw that in there just so you know and like can be prepared. I think it's on the 12th of every month, so I think the probably first one will be September 12th. But it's so crazy and it's so amazing, and like it's one of the best worship events that I've ever been to in my life. So definitely go to that. A lot of people go to it, so it's not just like a small thing, it's a huge thing, and it's in the music center auditorium. So I would definitely suggest going to that and at least trying it once. It's okay if you don't study well in libraries. There's a few Starbucks nearby and a Barnes & Noble. There's a lot, like even if you don't have a car, there's a lot of places off campus that you can go to study. I can study well in libraries, but whenever I actually want to do like hardcore like grind work, I can't be around people my own age because it like distracts me. See a cute guy and I'm like, like but just whatever. Well, like not even that, just people my own age. I like just people watch too much and I just get distracted. But if you're at Starbucks, I don't know why, it's like easier for me to study if I'm in a coffee shop. So if you're going, like there's a few Starbucks nearby. There's one on Wards Road, there's the bookstore, and that's honestly, that's a little bit underrated because the bookstore, you can go there and study, and I've done that a few times. And even though there are like people your age there, but it's like not busy at all most of the time that I've been there to study, unless you go like exam week or whatever. And then there's a Starbucks on Wards Road, Starbucks and Barnes & Noble. Oh, and then there's a Barnes & Noble like right next to Target that you can go to and you can like walk to. I will say definitely don't go anywhere by yourself. Don't go like to Walmart or anything by yourself. Always go with a friend. There's a coffee house called Dublin Coffee House in downtown, and I've heard that that's a really cool place to study too. I'm probably going to do that this year when I actually have a car there. Take your advisor meetings very seriously because they're super helpful. I think it's like once a semester you have to meet with your advisor, and it's actually so helpful, like especially for me, to just like talk out my goals, because my goals change a good bit. Like I'm that type of person that like, I always have a life plan. I always have like a 5-year, 10-year, like let's, you know, make some goals and stuff like that, and like which classes am I going to take this semester, like to get me towards my major and my minor and stuff like that. So I love talking to my advisor and just talking everything out. What classes do I need to be taking next semester? What careers can I go into? What internships should I be doing? What should I be doing to get myself towards that internship? So many things that you can talk to your advisor about, and my advisor is so amazing. So that's always really helpful for me whenever I have advisory meetings. So I would definitely suggest taking them really seriously so that you'll be in the best place possible to succeed in college. I actually just realized this semester, and it's go to extra events for your major. I went to a class on building your graphic design resume, and it was for extra credit, but it was actually so helpful. I'm a graphic design minor, not a major, so it doesn't particularly apply to me, but there was a lot of events for my major of Stratcom. I never talk about my major on here, but I'm a strategic communications major with a minor in graphic design and business. There was a lot of strategic communication events there. There's just like a lot of events for every major. Most people at Liberty, I would say a very good majority, is nursing, education, and ministry. That's 3 of the big ones. That's just what I would say. So I know that there are probably a lot of events for those majors, but there's a lot of events for honestly every major. So I would say take those events very seriously, because you can make some good connections and network really well that could help you in your career later on. And then my last tip, honestly, you would probably do this at some point. A lot of these things are just things like you would probably do at some point, but I'm just giving you like a head start so you can do this like the first day you get there. But watch the sunset or sunrise from the top of DeMoss. So whenever you go to the elevators in DeMoss Hall, the one, I think it's on the, like if you're looking at the elevators, I think it's the one on like the far left that goes all the way up to the 5th floor, which is the roof. But oh my gosh, Lynchburg sunsets are unreal, and it's so weird because like I don't know what about them is like different than every other place, but they're so beautiful. And so like especially from the top of DeMoss, you can see like all the mountains and like the skyline and sunsets. It's so pretty, and I want to do a Bible study up there like one morning, but I just don't think I'll ever be able to wake up for that. But oh my gosh, it's so stunning. And so I would suggest doing that. It's so pretty, and I think I did that like the second day with Michaela. But that's the end of this video. I hope that these tips were helpful. I hope that you learned something that you didn't know already. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Let me know down below if you're going to be going to Liberty in the fall or at some point, and if you are, let me know where you're staying, because I'd love to know if we're going to be on the same hall or something like that. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!